week after week, as she, has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on a too small.
Jessica Pegula has achieved a major milestone. She claimed the WTA Dubai Open title. At the very moment she could have focused only on her own success, she chose to do something different. During one of the proudest moments of her career, she used the spotlight to speak up for someone else. Instead of talking only about her victory, she turned the attention toward a player she believes deserves much more respect than she has been receiving. That player is Alex Eala. Pegula did not hesitate when sharing her thoughts. She made it clear that Alex Eala is not just another young competitor trying to adjust to life on the professional tour. In her opinion, Eala is a real rising star. She has already proven multiple times that she belongs among the best players in the sport. However, Pegula believes the WTA has not been treating her in a way that reflects that level of talent, and she is not willing to ignore it. She spoke about her own experience playing against Eala at the Miami Open. When she walked onto the court, she was genuinely surprised. The scene was far bigger than she expected. The energy in the stadium was intense. The crowd was large, loud, and fully engaged in every rally. Pegula described it as insane, not in a negative way, but in a way that showed how impressed she was. What she saw that day was a young player who had already created a powerful following. It was the kind of support that many experienced champions would love to have.
Eala is the match that I was looking at, and there's people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, for fan experience, I don't know, because I'm not living that same experience, but hopefully the event kind of continues to grow.
And this level of excitement was not limited to Miami. Pegula was very specific about that. She explained that in Miami, at the Australian Open, and in Dubai, Alex Eala consistently attracted some of the biggest crowds on tour. Fans do not just attend her matches casually. They travel across countries. They wait patiently in long lines. They plan entire trips around the chance to see her compete. That type of fan connection is rare in tennis. The sport has spent years trying to grow its audience in certain regions. Yet here is a young athlete from the Philippines who has built that connection naturally. It has grown because of her talent, her personality, and the pride she brings to her supporters. Even with all that momentum, the WTA has continued placing her matches on smaller courts. Pegula does not see that as a harmless scheduling decision. She sees it as a sign of disrespect. She spoke directly about the Australian Open. When you take a closer look at what happened there, it is difficult to understand. Eala was reportedly one of the biggest reasons the tournament experienced record-breaking attendance. Fans traveled from across Asia, especially from the Philippines, specifically to watch her play. They invested time and money just to be there. But once they arrived, many discovered that the court assigned to her match could not hold the number of people who wanted to attend.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come from?
The outcome was frustrating. Long lines formed outside the stadium. People stood waiting, hoping they might still find a way inside. Some never did. Many had traveled long distances and spent significant amounts of money just to support her. Instead of sitting in the stands, they remained outside, hearing cheers from inside, but unable to see the match themselves. Then, Eala was eliminated from the tournament. For many of those fans, the entire experience ended without ever watching her compete in person. All they had was the memory of standing in a line that moved too slowly. Pegula did not soften her words when addressing this situation. She called it disrespectful. Disrespectful toward Eala, toward the fans, and toward the momentum she has been building in the sport. What makes Pegula's comments so strong is that she is speaking from direct experience. She was on that court. She felt the energy of that crowd. She competed against Eala herself. When she says something feels wrong, she is not guessing. She witnessed it firsthand. She also shared information that should have drawn major attention. She said she had been told that the Australian Open recorded its best crowd ever, and that this record-breaking turnout was significantly influenced by Alex Eala's presence, the largest attendance in the event's history, and one of the key players responsible for that excitement was scheduled on one of the smaller courts. That does not appear to be a simple mistake. It feels like a message, and not a positive one. Pegula is not alone in speaking up. More voices have joined the discussion. Novak Djokovic, who has won more Grand Slam titles than anyone else in the history of tennis and understands the sport from every level, also spoke openly. He called Alex Eala the greatest tennis player the Philippines has ever produced. He said she deserves full respect and agreed that her court assignments and scheduling decisions have made her path more difficult than it should be. When someone with Djokovic's experience and reputation says something like that, it changes the conversation. This is no longer just about frustrated fans. It is about respected figures in the sport pointing out a pattern they believe is unfair. There was also a moment during her match against Iga Swiatek, one of the most dominant players in women's tennis in recent years. At a crucial stage of that match, just as Eala was gaining momentum, an official approached her to question items in her bag. The timing was unusual. It interrupted her focus at a key point. It broke her rhythm while she was building confidence. To many observers, the situation did not make sense. The disruption happened at a moment that had a real impact on the flow of the match. But through all of this, one thing is becoming clear. Alex Eala is not fading away. Every obstacle placed in front of her seems to make her stronger. Every small court assignment, every questionable scheduling decision, every interruption only adds to her story and increases her support. She is growing beyond the politics. She is becoming bigger than any hesitation to give her the stage she clearly deserves. Jessica Pegula sees it, Djokovic sees it, Coco Gauff sees it, and millions of fans around the world see it every time she steps onto the court. The WTA may continue assigning her to smaller courts, but nothing about Alex Eala feels small. Not her talent, not her determination, and certainly not her future.